who played there for us. Were excellent. Thanks very much, lads. And for Carl Hagney here, who came to help me out with the singing. All the way from the market. This man was on the Segal, the Bundoran on Saturday, and he sung. He's a great singer. He made me a song of his tonight. I want to hear a song of his tonight. He says to me, "You're a class singer. I mean, do you have a speaker and mic and all that?" He says, "I'll see you on Wednesday night." Put me in. I got mixed in. So the bear being a card to come in for showing that. Thank you all. So last on ska anthology from the Scríbhneoirí tSléibhe community writing programme. As you all remember, we had an event in May out here as well. I think it was a bit here in May, but we had a reading on that night, and we committed to try and pull together a publication. And the man behind it is Scott McCandry. It's Scott who's compiled this, who's edited this, who's drove the whole thing from the start. We also have John Boyle O'Morrigan and show. Bill for John Boyle. John Boyle has facilitated our Irish language course, and we have written in here from John Boyle from 18 from Galway, who can't be here, and from Vanilla Valley in Shaw. He is here. Marty Vanilla, Grandma hat. And we're going to hear some of the poems here this evening. As I had said in the foreword, we had an event as part of Film the Giggany Gorma in May 2019, and I think that was the first time that we had an event like that in here. And some of the people who were here this evening happened to read out on the night, and it was unbelievable. People were, it took the roof off the place. People who had never had the chance, or had never probably been asked before to read their stuff out, had a chance to do it, and they were brilliant. And we had the idea to pull together this as a programme. COVID got in the way, it never happened, and then we finally were able to create what we're calling a virtual therapy room or something like that, or a virtual soul writer's scribe room or whatever on Zoom, and it was brilliant. And the man behind it was Scott McCandry. So Bill Bus over to Scott McCandry. Get up, you foggy!
You're a bit taller than Fergal, aren't you, Scott?
Very much, Margo. And I love being recorded. All the way through this thing in the world. I love different spaces as well. So, hello everyone. To begin with, I'm going to read a wee bit of the introduction from our anthology, and then I'm going to find somebody to look at. It's just going to be the spider, and not the person.
Definitely.
I'll leave your phones and hold it up, man. So I'm going to read a wee bit from the introduction, and then I'll read my poem from the anthology. So, being creative in language, in my opinion, but it's being creative in language isn't some life add-on or expansion pack. We are increasingly digitized and commodified reality. Poetry is something we do anyway, and spending time with our friends and family and having a laugh, telling yarns, expressing our love and adoration. In the public sphere, poetry can become the slave of ideology as much as a device for the disaffected. Writing forces us to revisit the past and imagine the future, transmitting any number of ideas, philosophical, psychological, and political. But beyond its public utility, the act itself can be medicine to the individual. And where these markings find their readership, be it 2 or 2 million, a community is formed. Amongst the contributors to this anthology were teachers, a bricklayer, a filmmaker, a social worker, musicians, language rights activists, social activists, environmentalists, atheists, holistic therapists, project coordinators, arts facilitators, people on benefits, house husbands, housewives, struggling parents, voluntary workers, sufferers of chronic illness, and survivors of a gamut of physical and psychological trauma. Many have been affected by suicide, addiction, social deprivation, and ever-present recent conflict. This diversity of life experience becomes more than a set of themes in this anthology. The reader bears witness to the horrors of our times and our specific place, but paradoxically, this is mediated through the beauty of human expression. There are love stories, family anecdotes, descriptions of transcendental encounters, invectives against political injustice, rejoinders to systemic failures in the education system, vivid, if not always seemly, imagery of the city and its surrounding counties. Big shout out to Dan with his burnt out cardboard. Hate and language and slobber of every day. Of the everyday. This is where it gets the Megan's, but I can't read it properly. He's from Dublin. This many-coloured and richly rewarding book that will now take flight along the foot of the Black Mountain. He's from Dublin, he doesn't know we have to put the in front of him. And hopefully far beyond, is a wonderful example of what writers' projects and movements like Scríbhneoirí and tSléibhe can do. And here's the big thanks. So, I want to thank Fergal and Jordan Mona for the invitation to facilitate on the course that led to this anthology. And I should thank Oran, maybe especially, for the tech support, saving me from Zoom meltdown on a number of occasions. Thanks
Or helping the Zoom meltdown.
Thanks to John Boy there, for editing the contributions from his workshop. And I want to thank the designer, Clem Bradley too, for his talent and his patience putting up with me through the process. And I'm very grateful to Michael Pierce for his work on the introduction and his engagement with the content. Well, as I'm sure they'll agree, but I'll highlight the bit that he did, by the way. Went well beyond what was expected of him. And especially like to thank the anthology's contributors from both workshops, Gurumila Moigov, Iris Koharjikas. So I'm going to read the poem here, which is a poem that I thought maybe might fit into the anthology. And it's kind of sad, it doesn't need much patter. So it's called Dump. It's not a very nice poem to have for your ma, neither is it. It's called Dump. Dump for my ma. But it's a true story. So who doesn't go to the dump with their ma?
Oh, for a dump or to the dump?
But you can't go. Your man may say you wouldn't go for a dump for a son. Or not.
You can't dump your man.
You can't dump your man. I mean, I'm going to make a joke there. Who'd be getting it? You know,
Well,
long-suffering people of Tennessee have, suffered enough. So, dump for my. You see, this is what happens when you should have just left it for my man. You call it something else.
Oh, she's excited. Yes.
Dump for my ma. That day we go down to drop off the fuck microwave, old shirts and shoes at the household recycling centre. Your eyes light up when you spot your man. You say hello so warmly too. 2 stares straight through me. Sorry, he goes, I don't know you. He works here. He shakes his head. He plays that sad song when you ask whether he's back with the mother of his kid. I carried his mother's coffin down the Old Park Road. Must be 2 decades ago, and there dropped it. And I saw the tears beat down his rosy cheeks onto his school shirt. They say he was cursed for being so deep. I was deep too, but lucky.
Scott, thanks to your man as well for bringing in this earth. And the first Scríbhneoirí who Bhavani invited up has become the prodigal daughter of the programme, our Siobhan, who has got a butterfly on the front. So Clem actually read the poems as well. A designer who reads the poems. He read the poem and he had a butterfly, which was juxtaposed, as Scott would say, with a throat of fire. So I'm going to have Siobhan introduce. Just that Siobhan.
yeah.
What page number?
Ring Clem. It's only Siobhan's poems.
When you're the back.
here, just while I'm waiting, I just want to say a massive thanks to everybody here. To be honest with you, it's been an unbelievable, uplifting experience every single week. I look forward to getting on the Zoom, or maybe being a wee bit missing in action at times. I'm only joking. It's just a tremendous experience, and I suppose whenever you've went sort of missing from society for a wee way, and then become fully immersed again in life through such a wonderful programme and group of people, and the facilitator Scott made it all the more easy for all of us, and just the fact that everybody felt comfortable sharing their stories enabled me to feel at ease and to feel like I can unburden myself week in, week out. It was just unbelievable. And I guess like just memories of Fela, to be here tonight during the Fela. When I think of when Fela first started, I was 8 years of age and chasing after black taxis and going to street parties and going to your first trip to Tarala Beach with all your mates, and we were like animals, street urchins packed into a bus, and the language wasn't so flowery or poetic back then, but we had a ball, we had a field day, and then even later memories of the big tent or up at Landor, the final night of St Paul's, and just the great crack and banter. Falls Park, my big brother backing up the Kaiser Chiefs. You know, there's so many memorable occasions during Fela, and to be here tonight during Fela with all of you is just remarkable. So, delighted. Emerge. The path to enlightenment requires constant change. Suffering is key. The old self one must rearrange. Just like the caterpillar, upon entering the cocoon, dissolving, fearing it would die, adversity is required. You lie in isolation, silently crying. But as you dissolve, you transcend all of what has been. A new state of consciousness governed by intelligence unseen. Accept and acknowledge that much of the old needs to die. Through this we emerge. Emerge, brilliant, beautiful butterfly.
I think the first poem in the anthology is Isleen's Town, which I think was an excellent poem. Is Isleen here? Isleen?
Yes.
That's not good. Lonnie, got to see that?
Go on.
Come on! Go on, Lonnie, see us that. Go on, see us that.
You can clap
Don't
in
you
the
use
back.
Aussie?
I didn't know we were reading our poem.
The Zoom class.
So good, yeah.
Thanks, just before we get into the poem.
Her poem's 2 pages back.
Really long. Feel free to have a nap or whatever. I do want to say a big thanks to Scott though for putting up with us every week and all your encouragement and just advice and the edits. All the edits. No, it just was such a good experience, and you know, I'm writing again, I'm still writing, and you know, I wasn't for a really long time, and yeah, it means a lot, and thanks to the group as well, you're all amazing, and just such a privilege to hear your work every week, and you know, have you kind of read mine and take the time to talk about it and talk to each other, and yeah.
Brilliant.
And thanks for watching too. Okay. Time. In dim yellow light, I squeeze in. If only I'd been someone thin. Mashed between crispier and cheddar chops. Every red light makes our bodies rock. The eyes closer, I touch my knees. Getting closer, I feel crispier sneeze. I try anything to engage my mind. Bright yellow and rust on the subway sign. It's not fresh, but it's better than a sausage pop. Taxi driver consoles front seat passenger. First day in the job, says he knows he'll be crap. The half-asleep hospital porter dreams deep as we land. The mummy he has to get to Primark, can't afford the brand. The schoolgirl on the beat stares at fate with phone in hand, buzzing, out of control. First blowjob last night, sore jaw, sore soul. We share this place we call the town. Some of us lost here, some of us found. The comedy and tragedy of Castle Street, the sting and the joy of booze. Hoarse laughter until the bottle dries into a heavily coated snooze. Then evening comes, more dim yellow skies, lights go red to green. Preachers and their dodgy speakers in Corn Market making a scene. Grannies own the bus stops here, their bits in hand, rushing home for their stories. Young mothers rush home carrying workday worries. Couples linger on, listening to each other speak. They're younger still in love, and can always drink midweek. The hoots and shouts of town. You give me cheek, $5 for a pound. I'll knock your fucking square any change. Gives a peg, gives a 50 bag. Can't get 20s now. My dog Tyson, he's my best mate. He shares my stake, my blame, my shame. We share this place we call town. Some of us lost here, some of us found. A memory now, 2 meters later. A mask, our common denominator. We're all more alone than ever before. Chris Peter can't eat her crisps anymore. And chatter chops waffle, a muffled hiss. We mash there again, might just be bliss. We share this place we call the town. Some of us lost here, some of us found.
I'm just opening here the page that's next. Our next published poet has wrote a brilliant poem about the Black Mountain. Chrissy McFoley, let's have you. The Black Mountain is always on my back.
Completely put in the spot here. So this poem, I suppose I always feel like a bit of an imposter because I didn't take part in every week of Scott's wonderful group, but my mummy did and I got to hear a lot about it. So I think the Black Mountain and Glornamona and these festivals and these nights do always inspire me, and being around that kind of environment and spent a lot of time here just kind of inspired this poem. So it's the Black Mountain has always had my back. For as long as I can remember, no judgment and no lies. It kept me company at night, exploring on it, time flies. I looked to it with courage, and it back to me with promise and adventure. It's been with me all through life, and directly behind it, on a good day, you may capture the sunrise. Different seasons show its beauty. Fog gently simmers down. In the rain it gets wet, but no matter the weather, it doesn't fret. Only encouragement reflecting with a glimmer. After quarrying, after war, after murder and more, its true colour shines blue on a special day in May, upon a mighty hatchet field when the Gleigany Garma awaken once more.
Can we go down Gaelic a bit in this? I wanted to ask John Boy O'Morgan, who facilitated our Irish course, and he's a very modest man, but he was just telling me his latest book of short stories in October, and he's on his 5th chapter of his novel. So it's a big small book for his time. John Boy O'Morgan.
We'll all know the bad.
Kihu and Yere Rui. Unfortunately, it's in Irish, so you're going to have to just take my word for it. That was good.
Don't know what.
This is my first review.
Balurshi the Chinyal Fado, a golu chol gokol, Faswar in the Raho, Chriwaish agus Haska, the Roy agus the Guhasian. Godanig and Kabia are Ligre a Nahu, Goldas na Krika a Sheila, the Galpu the Hutch sheer, called to a nish, ever away. I could have rat boy he walked.
suppose we hadn't asked everybody. Is everybody out there? Yes. Our next reader is going to be Siobhan Morgan. If you have it, come on, Siobhan.
I'm just like everybody else. I'd just like to thank everybody, and especially Scott. Like everyone else, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole course. It's been lovely meeting everybody tonight for the first real life. So my poems was visible and invisible. I don't know what is worse. People playing mind games or being separated by the first. When a brick wall is before you, you're forced to make a choice. Will I stay on this side or take a risk? Scale its heights, penetrate its depth, and embrace the other side. When a wall is invisible to the naked eye, it can be a wall of distrust, discrimination, bigotry, and lies. To scale the height or penetrate the depth of this wall takes vision of a different kind. It takes courage, conviction, compassion, tolerance, and love to demolish the invisible walls in the hearts and minds of those we find it hardest to love.
Thanks very much, Siobhan. That was excellent. And our next poet, I think, doesn't actually need the paper, which is good because he
He's looking more for his mummy. He wants his mummy back on the stage.
If you don't want by heart,
Thank you, Scott, Oren, Fergal, for bringing this all together. Sarah, thank you very much for putting me in contact with all these people.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you, Bjorn Mona.
He was in
Doing amazing
Liverpool
work.
last week.
You're doing amazing work. Keep doing
Yeah.
it.
What was it?
You were reading at the Liverpool thing a few weeks back.
Where?
You were reading it.
Oh, I had a disorder for everyone. Actually, we were at like a public thing in Harvard University or something. That was good day. So
Brilliant.
So this one, I wrote this actually going for a walk in, it wasn't the Black Mountain, but it's like the other one, the shorter one, I wrote it up in the Black Mountain actually. But this one I wrote over Charles Bridge, and so it was like being on a trip, natural high. I wasn't taking any substances, but it's just in it, it's great. So it was, I love to go where the wild things grow, where the oak trees know, yes the oak trees know, by furry doors and ancient wars, tribal tales before the cross and the nails. I love to go where the wild things grow, where the snails can talk and the plants can walk, where the free birds fly and they don't ask why, where there is no time, because there's only now. I love to go where the wild things grow, where wild cats be hissing and tall trees be kissing, and there's no missing you and no missing me, because all is one, and when one is free. I love to go where the wild things grow, where the shrooms are funny, where the bees make the honey, where the wild things grow, there is no money. So if you need some healing and the sounds of healing, please go where the wild things grow.
Is it the start?
It's near the end, I think.
In the end, sort of wrote it. I actually couldn't sleep one night, head full of worries and stuff, and I think it might have been the solstice or the last solstice. Something woke me out of bed and couldn't sleep, and tossing and turning. I went up a mountain just to try and, actually up a Black Mountain, just
Good
to
lord.
try and walk it out, you know what I mean? A poem came out of it, so please enjoy
It's
it.
a way to do it,
It's
Sean.
great, bro. It might not be near the end, actually.
Scott, yeah, this fucking thing.
Number the page.
pages next time.
Is that the end before Clem got there?
Oh!
So it's called exposed because it's just one of them moments you see the shadow in the ground and just something lit up and you know, fuck the worries, you know what I mean? Like I'm here and that's probably represented the worries anyway. So a morning walk exposed my shadow, on the earth it did appear. As the sun shone down upon my back, something became so clear. The shadow that is in my sight represents my fears. It lies down there on the ground, but I dwell in here.
So I think we want to have Sarah Boyce next. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're trying to get a few print to have this printed as a book, and by that stage you'll be able to kind of paint them.
There'll be a content page at the beginning.
Have a content page.
And Jasper and Shauna. And thanks again to particularly big, huge thanks to Scott and to his sidekick here, Oren. And to Fergal as well.
I have a thorn like that.
But you know, like everybody said, the weeks it was fantastic. It was just an amazing experience, and just feeling that connection with people, especially this last year, you know. But you know, every week, Scott, just no matter what, the conversations just forever took another turn, and another turn, and another turn, and we were 100 miles away from where we started. And Scott just kept so calm throughout the whole thing. It was like the home for the bewildered sometimes. Scott managed to bring it all back, and it all just worked. You know, it worked so well, and yeah, I thought it was just really powerful, you know. And the encouragement that we got as well from Scott in a very quiet way, just to keep at and keep sharing our stuff and that. So it is brilliant, like people said, to have somewhere to bring your work and to share it with other people in that really supportive environment. And like, all credit to Fergal and Gloria Mona here as well for getting this off the ground, you know, for what was an idea 2 years ago, and then with COVID and everything. But you kind of feel that there's the seeds of something really brilliant happening here. More than the seeds, it's starting to really take off, I think, you know, the whole sort of creativity and the writing community that's here. So our own Sir Fad. So this one is called it's called Sarah Boyce. No,
By Sarah Boyce.
By Sarah, yes. It's called Irish People Are Rearing Up, and I kind of borrowed a bit from our proclamation, our 1916 proclamation. And I was kind of, you know, what I really like to do is just, I suppose what everybody does, observe what's going on around you in the everyday, because that's where you really see where things are at and what's actually happening. So this is kind of where it came out of. Irish people are rearing up in the name of God and the dead generations about needing an appointment to call in on neighbours, the same neighbours whose front door is opened by care staff who sweep through 3 times a day, about care staff who are paid by the tick-tock profit clock, the price of their uniforms docked from pay packets, about the demise of meat and 2 veg, the rise of ready meals and shopping aisles with Bia Ur signs hanging overhead, about people driving Range Rovers to the corner shop, all-terrain tyres mounting the footpath outside, those hanging on for grim death wee corner shops, mourning the absence of kids' bikes blocking their doors, about parents paying £8 for a box of incandescent cereal, in American candy stores with classy sugar-frosted windows, about the emergence of a new class, the working poor, who fork out £50 for a turkey that comes in its own box, a stuffed cardboard box they didn't order, about street lighting dimming the star-studded sky, a night sky still raked by helicopter lights, searching for anything that doesn't seem right. Maria.
request there by one of our musicians. He's a secret poet. And he said, would anybody mind if he reads his poem out at a certain stage?
Oh, no,
And
would
I
love
said,
that.
I said, of course. But we'll leave him to last here. Our next one up is Maura McParland. Her calls him around.
I'm too nervous to say thanks and all, so read Lauren. Kerr. It must be very hard. Nah, you get used to it. Do I fuck? Adrenaline pumping through my veins, 12 hours solid, albeit with good gains. Eyes like saucers, forget to breathe. Eyes dotted, T's crossed before I leave. No early rate through the night, 24 hours picking up with shite. Am I nuts? Am I burnt out? Hierarchy, listen, hear my shout. It's not their fault, it just is what it is. You can't help what you're born into. I'm left to walk up the mess. They'll fucking pay me for it, look after me. The public don't know or silent plea. Vicarious trauma, lack of sleep, my own as well as others, that's too deep. Fucking poor kids, I'm all I have. Help me self-care, I need you bad. Look after me to look after them. Can only take so much, think I've come to the end. 3 of my own, sacrifices made. Just leave now before precious time fades. Maybe to be whole again, dedicate me to me. I'm still doing it. We'll see, we'll see.
Our next poet is all the way from County Tyrone. And well, I missed it in here in Adele back in May. So we're going to have Adele Quinn. Adele, build of us all work.
Come on, Adele!
Thanks very much, and again I want to add my voice to the chorus of thanks to Fergal for the WhatsApp message to tell me about this, and for Scott who facilitated us through in such a gentle, lovely way, and he was so encouraging the whole way through. I just delighted to be part of it. It was one of the lovely Zoom things that I've done over the last 18 months. Zoom being an absolute torture at this point nearly, but it really was a delight to be there. And my hope for the whole thing was that I might put a pen to paper for the first time in 15 odd years, and I did, and I was delighted. And it was class to be listening to everybody else's stuff, and everybody's so encouraging in the buzz and the Yoshi and everything, and at every session, you know, it was just great to be part of, and the times that we're in, it was a real joy. So thanks very much, everybody. So, this one is called Dusk Meanderings. 52-year-old eyes. Ducks circling in trees like they're coked up, land in a line, near the others loafing in the lake, heads sandwiched under their wings. High above, brent geese in loose formation head for Island Hill, where the pickings are good, so they tell me, in their wild thousands. A baby greyhound, corseted in a high-end number, double takes my heart, all the size of her. Being led by the neck by a tense couple, bewildered eyes, skinny-legged, gormless. A man notices me, smiles, and in the space before my outbreath, I've noticed him too. Still smiling, he long gone. I'm walking taller, shoulders back, braless breasts, a little more spring. No longer the young pup in fancy clothes. No longer the desire to trust myself into some soul-destroying false shape. Left with what's left, gormless and flushing with possibility. As I join in the crack with the robins, missel thrush, finches and tits, the only souls I've spoken with today, I feel the mercy of an easeful belly, and find that when I step lightly on the land, I open to the quiet sparks on the ripples, the darkening sky, trees teeming in sparse silhouette, and the bats running about in the air, the Egypts, Oh, the flickering surprise of them, flickering little joy machines. A man with 7 spaniels on 5 leads at him like chickens round a handful of feed, head off to walk the night field and scatter like confetti across the grass. I haven't even told you about the signets yet. I wonder, are they still bereft since their mother left? Or has it eased? Have they forgotten? Or as they turn white, do they learn to live with it and move on? Children shriek and roll down the dark hill till a car horn summons. A young boy asks, will I play hurley with her mum? Oh, I think she's had enough today. She doesn't miss a beat. Out in the wild east tonight, she doesn't miss a beat. A beat, a beat, a beat, a beat. I think she's ran enough today. She doesn't miss a beat.
Absolutely powerful thing to do.
Go on, that was fantastic. Ben Kid and Alan Yealig, Ten Kid, Scríbhneoirí, Mason my cousin, group the John Boy, Fionnuala Valin, kind of the kid or woman said the Fionnuala, the image around Scríbhneoirí after the kill him, Fionnuala was on a kid way back in the day. She was the best of the class. She was brilliant short stories, brilliant plays, and she's also a brilliant teacher. She's my winter experience in your Rang Tree. So Fionnuala go hack so Scríbhneoirí, Aleo Mac, which is about childbirth. I'm assuming I'm going to ask her which one of her kids want all.
What's it there now?
I'm Scarra Maggett at Shine, Scarra Maggett John Boy. I was talking to a few people saying how lovely it was to get back into riding again. As many of you were saying as well, it's lovely to have sort of a goal to work towards, and that's what these workshops help me with, to start writing again. And it's lovely. Scarra Maggett John Boy at Shine. And it's really ironic because my daddy grew up a stone's throw from here. It's lovely to be here. Looking out over the north there, and then that I teach just down the road there as well, so it's lovely. And if it wasn't for Fergal pestering me to do these classes as well, I'm just glad to wear my good foster. So, as Fergal mentioned, this is called tSléibhe, which is, I suppose it's about giving birth and how it's like the waves in the sea, and how when the contractions come and go, that they're so painful, but it's like a storm that rages on until finally a newborn arrives. So, tSléibhe. Stjal u iske mar as an bhrinn, aring ag teacht, aring ag gimacht. Lusgu na dun na nonas an al, turam na dun gan sus gan steening. Gelu lacht an chenwich, almost another. Burach na dun ag rebus ag stroiku, and shin gotubban, the aon turring a wine, beck ach shinshirha, tust suivneach, gull ur nua, seal ur nua.
Is Christine Poland still in the house? Only the jury.
Move on.
Perhaps we'll have Linda, and we're waiting. We'll have Linda Byrne. Is Linda still here?
Yeah.
Come on, come on. Carmack, Linda. We'll have 2 poems here, Linda, so you can pick your favourite.
Thank God bless.
I love the lure. I love the lure. I do.
Andy Bale.
Andy Bale.
Andy Bale.
Both.
Andy Bale.
We'll have a vote, Andy Bale, Sean.
Andy.
Andy Bale. Andy Bale. Okay.
Right. Sorry.
Damn. Yes, yeah.
Andy Bell.
Do you need a torch, Linda? What?
Maybe lift the mic up.
Want the mic up a wee bit, Linda?
See if I can play. Right. My mate fancied Andy Bell. And so did her gorgeous, glamorous sisters. That's great. They made Poglass shine with their fashion, beauty and laughter, the idols of Colin. With a gift like that comes responsibility. A flower that draws the bees. A single mum of 3 gorgeous girls fighting off the swarm. In my life, I have watched the physical change of men to wolves, the beauty of being a weed, and it frightened me. Away from the luminosity, away from her illuminosity, I attracted other weeds. You can't escape those hills and mountains. Kathy Burke says, a man will shag a vacuum cleaner. So there's hope for everyone. I am so grateful. So my mate's brother had 3 older sisters. He was shy, they didn't get on, and until he began to be beaten by other boys and his girlfriend. A plant can't run, a plant survives in the ground, yielding to the atmosphere, being blamed for drawing attention to itself. In this atmosphere of underage drinking and trying to get snogged, street patrols and joy riding. Oh no. This is getting a little bit much.
Joy riding.
Joy riding, yes, a little bit joy riding. Anyway, so her scent was soon picked up, and mine too. And from one year of Andy Bell posters to the next of 26-year-old men taking us out. I don't recognise myself in this. The desperation was so desperate. You need to wise up. Cheer up for fuck's sake. Be more confident, fool. We were being good, grown-up, mature girls. Sure, the teachers were touching the face, dating the students and rolling up their sleeves. Though hats off to a man teaching a room full of sweating beauties, sprawled along the back seats with open neck blouses, while he talked about power and equality from a book by Mr. Harlampus. I don't know the next bit is. Where is it? Oh, I don't know what the next page is. What happens next?
What's the page number?
No. Page number is
You smoked Andy Bell.
30.
Paul's game is our birthday says. Paul's game. 36. No.
Go on, Linda. You're alright. Go, Linda. Go on, Linda, you're grand.
You're doing brilliant.
Keep torturing you till I get this out of me. So, where was it? Right, so hats off, yes. So hats off to a man teaching a room full of beauties. Sprawled at the back desk, blah blah blah, big Erasure are a great band. My former uncle had never heard of homosexuality. He went to see them in the King's Hall, full of queens, and he had a queer expression and questions after his night out. He'd tell me it went, take a far-off expression, the sentence trailing, me smirking, waiting, he'd say, no more. I loved that he went. Anyway, point is, Andy Bell. This writing came about because I woke up thinking, I don't want to know, like some kind of fool. I'm building a wall. Every day it's getting higher. This time I won't end up another victim of love. Yesterday, Tina Turner sang, what's love got to do with it anyway? In Asda, I bought a microwavable lasagna. Serves too. I don't think so. Ding!
So, from one epic opera to another, we're going to have Christine Poland. You only fail if you quit. Tarnies, Christine.
No. I was going to rise above him. Do you want to make cocoa or anything? No. You okay? Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to get obligatory thank you. Fergal had asked me did I want to join a creative writing group, and I said yes. And when I was thinking about it, I was like, I really want to write a song. And the whole 12 weeks, I was like, I'm writing a song. The song has never been written. Yet, absolutely, yeah, because there's definitely a song in there. So this was kind of the last one. I got a bit kind of self-conscious about poetry because I'd never wrote a poem in my life. Never even thought of writing a poem in my life, but I got inspired a couple of times, and this one got inspired by, and I apologise, I don't know if it was Linda or Adele had written something about the 11 plus. So, yeah. Linda. Okay, so thank you, Linda. When I read your piece, I went, actually, see 11 plus. And I just sat down, and it is a wee bit long, but it's like a history. It's my history. It's a story of a wee girl who believed she was clever, because that's what everybody told her when she was a child, and then they decided when she was in primary 5 that she didn't need to do primary 6. She could go straight into primary 7 and do the 11 plus. What an epic fucking failure. So that's what this poem's about. So, you're a clever little girl. How about this? You can do the 11 plus, the primary 6 you'll miss. You could tell the time in primary 1 when you started. It's a shame school wasn't the same for you by the time that you departed. Clever little girl, how fast you learned to read and write. You did your sums, and all they taught, you were very bright. You believed them when they said, you'll go far. Oh, hard daft those adults were, and some still are. You knew you'd pass the 11 plus by the fat envelope in the post. That Saturday in November, you look forward to the most. When you went running down the stairs to get your envelope, you were shocked to see a skinny one. You quickly lost hope. The look you thought your daddy had as you glanced up at him said, you're a disappointment. Oh God, didn't that feel grim? You decided there and then, I'm not clever after all. I don't belong with smart people. And far from grace you did fall. You spent the next 35 years living in that world, like Cinderella to the cleaning yourself you heard. You worked in all sorts of places, getting on with life, but always as a skivvy. That cut you like a knife. Till one day you discovered that you'd made that story up, and then you knew you'd have to change it. Would that be hard? Yep. You'd been bored so stupid, and there had been no stimulation. You'd an active little mind, imagine that frustration. So you started going to classes in many different settings. But your dark place thought you'd get caught, so you were always fretting. It took a long time before you started to believe. Then you got an education, what a reprieve. Above the voice in my head that had told me every day, you don't belong with clever people, so stay away. I somehow found the courage to take a chance on me. I still love learning, because it makes me happy, you see. I got to university when I was 47. I didn't care what it would take to make it happen. I felt like I was in heaven, and in the year that I was 50, I was finally free. I left university with a first-class degree. I cried for the child, the teenager, and the young mother. Then the middle-aged woman decided, tears, never another.
Now I believe I'm clever, my life has been transformed. I've taken the bull by the horns and into education I've stormed. I've certificates in this, diplomas in that, even teaching qualifications underneath my hat. I don't look back now to wish my life away. It could have been much worse with years. Oh, sorry. I don't look back now to wish away my life. It could have been much worse with years full of strife. So now if I find myself rerunning, I'm not clever, I don't belong. I will contradict it, knowing that these thoughts are wrong. I reward myself with wisdom for the years that got lost. I know who I am now, and self-doubt is not worth that cost.
That is fantastic. Good stuff. So, last but not least of our Scríbhneoirí cohort is going to be the only man who can mess up between more than me and Rochelle.
Forgot my page.
Where's my keys?
I'll get it on the phone.
The modern age.
I got phone with it is. Where's my phone? Where's my keys?
It's the only poll we all know.
How much you got on, Jen?
I've been showing Michelle.
Start your speech with my fan in here.
Well, I suppose I'll start talking anyway while others sift around for it. I'm going to make a very similar speech as I did last time we were all here, and I'm going to thank the same people, which is every last one is. And in specific, I do want to thank Fergal, Scott, and John Boy, who made this course. I want to thank the musicians who came down, and tSléibhe, because they're unbelievable. I'm going to have to start making stuff up here because I can't find this poem.
Night
so anyway,
feeds.
what's the crack?
Night feeds. Night feeds.
Night feeds in the head.
Baby brain.
Baby brain is another thing. That's I have that. No, but genuinely, as I say, never wrote poetry before this. I probably should have went into the Irish one too, but I thought I'd give myself an easy wee entry into it. So I decided to write a poem in English, and what it done for me was, I don't know, it just gives you another way to express yourself that you don't, that I never actually knew was possible. So like, I'd be a very above the shoulders, constantly thinking, constantly cogs turning, and see once you get it down on paper, even the simplest of things, it just helps, I don't know, get it out of your system. So I thought that was really special, but then to be, that put together with such an amazing group of people who just made you want to open up, and they made you want to express yourself, was something I thought was more special than just writing poetry itself, because you had people to share it with, and you knew that it was being appreciated, and that you could appreciate other people's experiences too. So without further ado, I'll give you this poem that I've been ranting about. So this is called, it's going to have to be made, but don't hold it. So this is called The Hierarchy of Struggle, and it came about because constantly growing, not even just growing up, but just in life in general, I feel very privileged because of the friends, the family, the position I'm in as a person. So whenever I feel down about something, I don't feel like I have the right to be down about it, because I'm constantly comparing to other people and going, well, sure, they have it that bad or they have it this bad, but sometimes you just kind of need to let yourself be down and understand that you're going through your own struggles too. Like, so, hierarchy of struggle. How do you begin to let yourself feel, to give yourself a break, to not be a machine? How do you begin to treat yourself like others, to let people in, to let yourself recover? How do I say I'm not alright? How fast am I okay? I'll probably say I'm fine. You ask me once again, I'll probably start to cry. How do I begin to go through what I'm going through without feeling like it's unreasonable not to flow through? I want to begin to address what I'm feeling, to not just be strong, to actually start healing. I find it hard because I feel very blessed. I've got money in my pocket, and I'm seldom curly dressed. Are my problems real problems? I've got food on my plate, and if I need to talk, I know there's a safe space. But how should I react when I'm feeling overwhelmed? Because it feels like I have no right when so much goes so well. So I do find it tough to admit when I'm struggling. I feel like I'm privileged, and my problems are meant to nothing. I understand that life isn't just point A to point B, but when I see what people struggle with, how can I feel bad for me?
I'm sure you all agree that was fantastic. And when we had the event in 2019, again it was quite similar to this, only it wasn't as organised and we hadn't got as many writers. But remember on the night, John Boy was there, he did about 20 poems, so he read half a night. But what happened was we had with this man here, Sean Simmons, who happened to be in the crowd, one here, mate, I just got a project. And he went up, he started rapping, and then next thing he's world famous now. So I'm going to ask Gary Duffy, who was playing music earlier on, who said he was a secret poet who'd never read out a poem before. He said, I Let's see him.
Basically everything I was going to say to you, Oren covered just before me. This is one of the coolest things I've ever been lucky enough to stumble into. I've never seen anything that it's like therapy. It's like you're just standing up here and it's like therapy. And I forgot I wrote this. I wrote this 2 years ago. I was 19, and given current circumstances in my life right now, it's almost like, wow, I predicted it. And it's a bit depressing, but bear with me.
Good man.
She's unconditional. She's blind to see. She can never not be there, but watches behind me. No matter what I say or what I do, it would never taint her. She simply loves and gives it to me. Maybe I don't deserve, in fact, I'm almost sure. Why would a guy like me deserve this? I thought I earned it, but now I know not, as I failed at what she does with ease. And yet the foundation has yet to rot. Called it love for years now, and I can start to see the changes we're bound to be. I don't mean to be how I am, I'm bound to never change, so I wait and I try till the day the love will die. She left me yesterday, the day I knew. I said the usual word deficit, and it was one more she couldn't take. I hear she moved on quick, and although it hurts, I can't say I didn't see it. This was written in fate, a tale as old as time. A man is cursed to never change, but they every day can.
Fantastic. And while I was talking to Gary O, he was telling me that his father is one of the most famous flute players in Belfast. He's also very humble, and he, back in the day, would write all his own tunes and write slow words. So I said, if the son reads a poem, you have to go up and do a slow word. So he hadn't done it in 20 years, but you're here. See how he gets on.
We need a box of Kleenex, Fergal.
To follow up that.
Siobhan, I don't know
I
if
usually
you
talk,
want
but
Kleenex,
my brain's never in gear. That's the trouble. Everybody knows me. Listen, I like my song, the sentiments that ring true, because I'll try and be brief for this because everybody needs to get home. But there's a lot of poignancy being here for a lot of reasons. Recently, I've been teaching traditional music for years. All children are blank canvases. My children, there's nature and nurture. I never really nurtured them. And while I was teaching other people's children, the good karma came back, and I was telling earlier, my son started to play the music of their own volition. To me, it was just cemented that all the positive energy that was given to other people's children came home to roost. And I've never been prouder playing on stage with them. And we actually, this is something which probably shouldn't, we ended up, there was a competition on TV, or not a competition, it was we thought it was something that was highlighting traditional music families all around different countries in Ireland, mostly heavily southernly portrayed. So we thought we'll represent the north
from Antrim. And so we entered it a couple of months ago. We ended up winning it. So it's going to be on TV, and it was Irish language speaking Rialta Agus Guelta. So I couldn't speak a word of Irish. So watch us in our DM boots trying to speak out Irish. But anyway, I've never been prouder in my life. So, but that whole family thing, my boys playing here, came home to roost as well, because I haven't seen my cousin Linda in 20 years, and she was here tonight. I think one of the reasons why, come back very quickly, why we won the competition was because we played our own compositions. We wanted to let the South know that we just don't play Irish traditional music, which is as much our cultural music in the north as well as down south. But we composed our own tunes, our own polkas, our own slip jigs, our own mazurk, reels, jigs, everything. So to say, like, we just don't play this. We, just like the Irish language, our mother tongue, we feel the passion just as much as you do. So I think that's what set us apart. So that family theme and that sort of passion, and meeting Linda, and composing tunes yourself. So this is at Slow Air. I haven't played this in about 25 years. And funny enough, I actually played the Slow Air the last time I played it, and without being the negative theme, at a funeral of my Uncle Jim Daly, who Linda knows, and he actually, I'll never forget it, because he came up to me and said to me, "What was that tune you played? It was really, really lovely." It was only one that ever come up to me and said that tune. And I know everybody else ignored it. So anyway, please feel free to ignore this. Ever remember.
Who happened to be on the cycle at the weekend, as I say, Joel in the helping us out today. He'd be on the side, so one of my big bill bus for but he happened to be a lead singer, and he wrote a song of his own about growing up in the market, which he's going to share with us tonight, and he also does an amazing version of Raglan Road, which he's going to do here tonight before as we wrap up. So we can take a glass of wine as he
That's my favourite card.
So no pressure on Carl, no pressure at all on Carl.
I need to be under pressure in this company.
You supposed stand together if you're going to play. Lovely. Here, Mum, take one, let me jump in. Oh, my hero. Nice furry face. Sure, get one of me in the cards. Will you? Two more.
No, I don't want him the next 2 weeks.
Hopefully it'll come out. Here, sit down there. What do you think? Have me in tears?
What? No, he's not a chef. He's just shading cooking.
See that Raglan Road outside of the carpet, I thought this was okay. And sort of like
Exactly, you know, you had me ready there, so. Well, just to echo the words of Gary Oak, it's been an absolute privilege to stumble across this tonight. I thought Ferg says, come down, drop your speaker, go home, come back when I phone you. And that was the end of it. But, so it's been a pleasure to meet a lot of you, and it's very inspirational. It's something that I haven't attended before. I mean, Siobhan, good chatting to you, this, you know, as you come in there.
God help you.
As you said, you never fuck up. No, so, but it's been an absolute, genuinely, like, you know, Ferg, please invite me next time. I'll be back with bells on. But I was just saying to Fergal there, just before, he just sort of landed me on there, you want to sing a wee song here at the end? I says, yes, I'll give it a go. But it was also, Gary Oak, a bit like yourself, I have a wee poem here. I didn't write myself. I'll tell you a wee story about it. I'm just going to set the mic stand up. So, I was on holidays in July there. I was up visiting my wife's family in Ballycastle. And they're a fishing family. And young fella there, he's 16. And he done this for, I think it was for a GCSE assignment for school. And his father, who is a great fisherman, very, very hard life out at sea there, as you all know. So this young lad wanted to be like his dad. So he'd been asking his dad for years, could he go out? His dad took him out when he was 10 years old. And this guy, this young fella, is called Liam O'Brien from Ballycastle. And this is his little poem, and I thought I would just read it out for him.
Lovely.
And it's called Sea Legs. Okay, so I'm trying to read it off my phone here. Okay. It was the best day ever. Just 10 years old, and I felt 10 feet tall. I was a fisherman. I stood proudly among the crew, getting kitted out in my oversized oilskin and boots. I looked like a banana, too small for its skin, but I felt like a giant. Dad had warned me that the only way to get my sea legs was to earn them. And by God did I earn them. The hard way. The big rocking rusty boat swayed and swooped in the waves like one of the greedy gulls chasing over our catch.
I spent most of the morning with my poor pale face over the side of the boat, feeding my breakfast to the fish. It was awful. Why had I thought this would be fun? I prayed to God to save me from this sea sickness and to grant me my sea legs. I made countless deals with him, from promising to make my bed every day, to becoming a priest and devoting my life to him for the rest of my days. I got very little sympathy from the crew. The crew were too busy. "You'll be grand in an hour or two," they yelled. "An hour or two more of this horror, how can I cope?" I wanted my mum. I was just a wee boy of 10. I was sick and I wanted my mum. And then God must have heard my plea. As if by magic, my jelly limbs became strong, like Captain Birdseye's, and I became a fisherman. I got stuck into the most hated job of all, chucking the stinking, rotten, smelly bait over the side. It smelled like death. It was fabulous. Just as I started to enjoy myself, the day was drawing, and were the storm clouds, and we smoothly set sail back to the harbour. I was tired, I was smelly, I was 10, but I had earned my sea legs. I was a fisherman.
Yeah!
Name over Brian.
Love it.
It's going to be amazing.
Literally.
What you mean? Have the balls.
So before singing this wee song, I'd just like to tell you a wee bit about it, if that's okay. So as Fergal said, this is my one and only wee song I've ever wrote myself. I'll play a bit of music, but I do covers. But one day I felt brave enough just to try and put something together. So this wee song it's been stolen off the Dubliners, as in Dublin in the rural times. So it's the music of that song. The words are mine. And the story is about my life. It's a bit what sounds like, sorry I didn't get this lady's name about the... Christine. It sounded about like a story of life that you told earlier, Christine. About education and finding your way through the hard times and the knocks that you had, or someone in your story where it was you had when you were a young person. So I related to it very, very much, because this is about me as a young person. So when I was 10 years old, I lost my dad in the Troubles, and I wrote this song about him. So there's a few wee verses in it, basically about growing up like we all did in this troubled place. And to me, and the song is called Streets of Glory, and that's what they were. They were hard, but they were great. So I go on to talk about my dad and how I lost him in this song, and how my mother made us see the light, and how I met my wife, and so forth and so on, and how life is absolutely amazing. This is called Streets of Glory.
One, you.
Raised on streets of glory, heart of Belfast town, where the passing tales and stories will keep us free from frown. Street games and open houses made for happy times, that once was part of Belfast in the good old time. Please join in. Ring-a-ring-a rosy, as the light declines, I remember Belfast City in the rare old time. At times we're hard and weary, trouble on us besieged, with a binding strength together we found our liberty. My father, a young gentleman, he fell upon our streets. My mother found the strength within and aimed to set us free. A-ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Belfast City in the rare old time. 'Twas time to set into this world, to make our own free way. So I set off to Bundoran to find my own true love. Her eyes, they sparkled in the sun, my world it came to life. As I came home from that time away, I knew I found my wife. A-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Belfast City in the rare old time. Sweet words with my children. At times I haven't made a man of that he can be proud, as he takes his children by the hand and leads them through his town. My life is full of memories, will always make me smile. I'm a part of what was Belfast in the good old time. A-ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Belfast City in the rare old time. One more time. Ring-a-ring-a-rosy, as the light declines, I remember Belfast City in the rare old time. Thanks very much for your interest in the song for me.
Thank you for singing it.
Great to have the opportunity to explain that to people.
Amazing.
Well, this is a wee song for Uncle Fergus, the top man. Well, my hat goes off to you all, and Fergal I have only met just recently, and to be honest, you know, we've sort of hit it off and became quite friendly, so delighted to have met you, Fergal. On the riding road of an autumn day, I saw her first at the new. That her dark hair would weave a snare, that I might one day rule. I saw the danger and I passed along the enchanted way, and I said, let grief be a fallen leaf at the dawn of the day. On the crowded streets in November, waited lightly along the line of a deep ravine. What can be seen? The world of passion's blood. The Queen of Hearts still making time, and I not making the hay. Oh, I love too much, and my such is happiness to roll away. I gave her gifts of the moon. I gave her the secret sight that's known to the eye who have known true gods of song and stone, and word and tale without stint. I gave her heart to say, with her own name there, and her long dark hair like clouds over a field of rain. On a quiet street where all goes me, I see her walking the now. Away from me so hurriedly, my reason must allow that I have a love not as I could, a creature made of clay, where the angel Lord clay your Lord. This boy at the dawn of the day.
I know.
Molly. Like, I'm just saying half and that's
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah, whatever works. Like,
your favourite song is the
Set up this evening for these. I'm so jealous.
We don't need to use it now. Like, literally, you don't need anything now. He's just extra one hasn't been too bad. He's never been better. Don't feel like wake up and like, in the morning you might wake up, say wake up at 7, and you might like yourself for like 20 minutes. Just be like, you're like, okay, we're not going to bother you. You're not going to bother us. We're not going to bother you. He's got two. I love that. Then, yeah, because she's 4 months by the time she'll be like a proper sturdy baby, and then it'll be like 10 months and he's only happy. That's right. Generally, like, so the doctor will be it's so bad. You're not allowed to name. I'm sorry, or she's just like, you're not allowed to name. Yeah, these things.
I have to agree with you. No, you did one. You want to do while you are on site, so you have to do that. It's fascinated by the mystery of the When you go and I haven't even told you, it's like, sorry, it's happening.
travel companies and it's just, yeah.
I done the first. I was in the first.
That's yeah, I love that. It's like I love all you do with that. Yeah, I'm glad that's in the. I couldn't believe when you were like, first of all, when you were like, did you say like my 50-year-old legs or something? And I was like, you couldn't say that. No way. It was like the first thing where I was like, no, she's not. And then when you said you hadn't written it, and you know what, like, you read, like, you write, like, just all the time. Like, it's really, really, like, yeah. I know. Like, I will just love it. Yeah. I'm still doing like still at that point. Yeah. Doing like actually literally on my page for writing workshops and never did them, and the one that's so nice is like now that you pay me in the picture. So I've done one with her and it's like a one activity like just help with that. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. What if it is even like whatever happens like
There was a different
yeah, like that's why you have to do it. Do it to yourself and then like heartbreaking, it's like it's weird, it's like I've never liked Zoom, but then I got used to like only with heartbreak I got used to like being in that wee space, in that wee safe thing where when you send something in, like it only goes so far, like if it only go to you in that wee space, you know what I mean? It's weird. Like makes you kind of be able to I know, because I did, because the last one I did, like one last one I did, a day, like, stop and I send it. But like, there's a thing where you go, oh my god, why did it, you know, why did it, you go literally say something, yeah, I know you too.
Sure, we should eat like that. August, chat, pasta.
Yeah.
Center rolls.
Garmin Mayo get like just cockroach like yeah, so they on agus Carnell agus it's nice to do in Galway, so we're all doing stuff. It's literally Sarah. She rang my mum when we rang Sarah says she's like, you have to do this. No, I'm so glad, and I didn't. Yeah, 3, yeah.